there's a article that was published by MintPress News written by Whitney Webb that details a interview that a journalist for the outlet Narrative did with Ari Ben Menashe. Not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name right. Who is a former senior executive director for Israel's Directorate of Military Intelligence. So basically a pretty high-ranking former member of Israeli intelligence, who in this interview with Narrative said that both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislane Maxwell began a sexual blackmail operation extorting U.S. political figures for Israeli intelligence, and that also detailing that Ghislane Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, was also an Israeli spy, and just, back when Alex Acosta, the former U.S. attorney, when he was, I believe, being interviewed by the Trump administration to see if he, could be their labor secretary or something like that, he said he was told to go easy on Jeffrey Epstein. This was back when Alex Acosta was a U.S. attorney in Florida, to go easy on Jeffrey Epstein because he belonged to intelligence. And perhaps that's what Acosta was talking about. Maybe he knew that Jeffrey Epstein belonged to Israeli intelligence, so that's why he got off on this, ridiculously lenient sentence for, raping and molesting all these, underage girls, and, procuring them for other wealthy elite people. So, there's a lot of powerful people out there from the Israeli, intelligence community, to people like former President Bill Clinton, current President Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, different governors and political figures within the United States, as well as, other countries, around the world. But all this stuff just seems to be getting, swept aside once he supposedly committed suicide. We haven't really heard much of anything in the mainstream press about this, even though Epstein's and Maxwell's, connections were extensive, and it seems like, basically almost, every powerful figure in the United States appears to have some connection to Jeffrey Epstein. Like Bill Gates even had to come out recently and talk about how it was a mistake for him to associate with Jeffrey Epstein. I think I saw a picture online of former mayor of New York, Michael Bloomberg, associating with Jeffrey Epstein, and now he's currently running for, the Democratic nominee in the U.S. as well. So yeah, I highly recommend checking this piece out on MintPress News by Whitney Webb, detailing what Ari Ben Menashe says, happened with regards to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislane Maxwell being, agents for the Israeli intelligence community, who were basically in the U.S., trying to basically set up these powerful political figures with these underage girls to be able to use that, to bribe them or, make them do their bidding in some way, as well as, not just in the U.S., but I think the piece also detailed how this happened, abroad. So, in other countries besides the United States. So it's some definitely very powerful food for thought. Again, maybe this is what Acosta was referencing, that Epstein belonged to intelligence. Maybe he was referencing, the Israeli intelligence. Maybe he was also connected to the intelligence apparatus of the United States or any number of countries. And, it seems like the mainstream press and the powers that be are trying to do everything they can to make sure this story goes away quietly, so we don't find out all of these, lurid details of how, Epstein was connected to all of these, powerful people, and that they were engaging in these really, horrible behaviors and actions. So just some thoughts. Would love to hear yours. Peace.